Hello everyone, it's Jazz and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the third in for design team for Scrapping for Less. And I've got 4 cards in today's video, but I'm only going to show you one because they're all pretty similar, just kind of variations on the design. So we're starting off with these stickers. The B-Day stickers are from the kit. And then I'll show you what's from the kit and what's not. So the Happy is not in the kit. That's a standalone die that I have from my stash. The stamp set is in the kit, and the pattern paper is in the kit. So we're going to make a slider card today. And I'm using this MFT slide and spin dies, I believe. They'll be in the description box with what specifically they're called. But I have die cut a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 frame, which is standard card front size, and the slider channel using the MFT die. And we're going to build, we're using foam tape, we're going to build the slider channel on the back in a minute. So I've got these stamped out on some Nina cardstock, and you get 2 sheets of that in the kit. Ink on 3 blackout ink, which is a hybrid ink. You can use it for Copics and colored pencils or watercolor markers. Only thing it's really not good for is heavy water applications, but it's really nice for Copics. And so there's the colors we're going to use. And I'm only going to color one of these unicorns because I'm only going to need one. I guess they're not really unicorns, more of a Pegasus. So I'm using really simple coloring, just 3 colors on the hide of the Pegasus, and then 3 colors for the mane and wings. I'm using E000, E01, and E00. So E01 is going to be the darkest tone, E000 is going to be the lightest tone, and then E00 will be the mid-tone. And if you only had 2 E markers, for example, you could use tip to tip to get kind of the mid-tone that you're looking for. But these are smaller images, so they're fairly simple to color. And you don't need 3 colors to color in these animals or these images. It just makes it nice. I have them, so I'm using them, but you don't need them because it's a smaller image. You can get away with doing less. And if you're not familiar with Copics, or you have them and aren't really using them because you're kind of not sure what to do with them, or they're not blending for you, first practice with them. Just pick images, stamp and color them. That's going to help you figure out what your technique is going to be. And secondly, you can take Copic classes. So I like Sandy Almack's classes. She does online self-paced taught card classes. And she starts really simple. So she teaches color theory, she teaches blending groups, how to pick your colors, what you can layer with. And those are really fun. And I'll put the link to those classes in the description box as well if you're interested in those. So for the wings and the mane, I'm putting the darker tone at the base of the tail and at the base of the wings and where they overlap. So where you would naturally see shadows. And I don't use yellow a lot, so I don't have a lot of yellow markers, but I was able to get a really bright sunshiny yellow for doing the Pegasus. And I ended up adding in a darker, I don't know if you want to call it darker, it's definitely brighter. It's a more intense. Y18 is the most intense kind of bright yellow I've used in this, but I added in, this is the tip to tip I talked about, because I wanted something that was a little more intense and a little more contrasty, to kind of show a little bit better with doing this. I'm using a lot of flicking motions so that I don't have too strong of a deposit of color. It blends well. And when you're doing tip to tip, you want to take the lighter marker, touch it to the tip of the darker marker, and then color in. And you go back and forth doing that. And again, practice is key here. And this is sped up, so I'm not coloring this fast in real life. It probably took me, I don't know, I'm going to guess 15 to 20 minutes altogether to color the Pegasus. And you want to use a good quality cardstock when using Copics because the ink blends in the fibers of the paper. So if you have bleeding issues, it's probably because your cardstock isn't thick enough. So you want to use a good quality heavyweight cardstock when using your Copics, and that's going to help you feel successful with these two. And then I ended up fussy cutting this bad boy out because I didn't have the dye. So we're going to go back in now with some Wink of Stella clear glitter brush pen. I love my Wink of Stella. It provides just a nice, really pretty silvery glitter finish, but does not cover up the color at all. It's just nice, pretty sparkle. There she is. So now we're going to build our slider piece. So I've got a penny, and you can use a penny or a dime. I like pennies because they're a little bit heavier, but you kind of have to be careful with how you build your foam tape around the channel because the penny can get stuck. So I kind of took my time with this to show you how to properly do this so you get a free sliding element and it's not getting stuck on the foam tape. So I got these super tiny minuscule glue dots that I'm using to attach these little tiny slider discs from MFG. And these discs are not included in the kit. And these little tiny glue dots are about the same size as the little disc that you're seeing. So it kind of makes it perfect for these. And then I didn't do this. So if you decide to try this, put your element through the channel before you apply the penny on the back. You can I had to like maneuver it to get it through there. But don't assemble it and then try to put it in because it makes it a little bit more difficult. So I've got foam tape and I've doubled it up so it's twice as thick as what comes in the roll, and then trimmed it with my scissors so that it's about 1/3 wide. That's how it comes on a roll. And then I'm placing my penny where I'm applying the foam tape so that I know it's got clearance. And using the scissors, I kind of carved out that little area in the top right corner to make sure that penny had nice, clear movement and didn't get stuck on the foam tape. And obviously this is a Pegasus card. It's rainbow colors. It's kind of going to be more suited to maybe a little girl's birthday. But you can do this slider idea with any images and any cards. You could do it for masculine cards. I think it'd be fun to do a Father's Day with maybe like, I don't know, a hammer image on there if you've got a construction-oriented guy. You could really do this with anything. So kind of let your imagination run wild. But these are a lot of fun to do, and interactive cards are always a hit with anybody you give them to. So now we're going to peel off our backer and then apply our yellow cardstock. And this yellow cardstock and the pattern paper, if I didn't mention it before, they both come in the card kit. And the cardstock is cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but it obviously didn't fit quite right on there, so I had to trim off a little bit the edges, but that's okay. So now we're going to apply our stickers. And I think I mentioned it before, but the stickers come in the card kit. You get a whole sheet of them. And there's really pretty large-sized holographic stickers. And so I peeled them off onto some non-stick backer paper that was actually a scrap from something else. And that helped me kind of figure out if it was going to fit and where I wanted to place it. And then I cut the happy using some yellow glitter paper. And I applied Stick It to the back of the paper before I die cut it, so that way it's automatically a sticker when I go to use it. And you're not having to fuss with liquid glue or a tape runner on the back and kind of getting excess everywhere. It drives me nuts. So Stick It is my dry adhesive of choice for die cutting. It's super thin, super easy to use, and if you don't apply a lot of pressure to your piece that you're applying, you can lift it up and move it if you need to, but once it's on there for a few minutes and you've applied some pressure, it's not going to go anywhere. And so I've die cut some of these hearts. This is just a die from my stash. Stars would look cute on this too. If you didn't have the heart die, if you want to use stars, that would be really cute as well. In different sizes, so big and little. And if you struggle with placing things like this, these little die cuts or sequins or little tiny embellishments, and trying to make it look random, use odd numbers. If you're using odd numbers, then the random look to it is a lot easier to achieve than if you're using an even number. Your brain wants to match up even numbers and make pairs out of things. When you use odd numbers, it doesn't do that. So that's kind of just a nice rule of thumb to go by. So 3, 5, 7. And so the rest of these are all of the pattern papers from the kit, all of the card bases are from the kit. So it's really, you can make a lot of different designs, and you can combine the shaker with the slider, make just a slider, just a shaker. A lot of fun. And that is the card video for today. So I will have a link to the card kit in the description box. Let me know what you think. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time, and we will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.